rules real quick. A great take, everything gets doubled, folks. A great take gives you 400 points, a good take 200 points, an okay take 100, and a bad take still staying there at 0. Move on to our second topic regarding a team in Dallas's division, the Philadelphia Eagles, who took care of business against the Los Angeles Rams 23-14 with a dominant defensive performance, and offensively again scoring 23, but that score was not indicative of how great they were on that side of the ball. In terms of just bullying the Rams up front with having, in my view, the best offensive line in football. Jalen Hurts played maybe his best game of the season, and the Eagles maintained their pace with the 49ers in that sort of race for who the best team in the NFC is with a 5-0 record. So I'll start with you this time, Devin. Do you think the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC?
No. Honestly, I got to give them second best right now. Don't get me wrong. Philadelphia is doing their thing. They're able to keep their undefeated streak alive by just managing the game, honestly, the first couple of weeks. Because, we expect that Jalen Hurts was going to throw out some big numbers this year, especially having the full season with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith together going into training camp. So, I expect that Jalen Hurts, and having that big contract, I really thought that Jalen Hurts was really going to really show out this year, because I was putting him second best quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes. But the way Brock Purdy and Mike Shanahan in this offense is just really clicking, even on the defensive side for the 49ers. Like Alpha just said, they are really showing that they are outclassed. Like, they are the top tier team that you're looking at from all three sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams, to say, like, how do you beat the San Francisco 49ers? You got to hope that, I hate to say it, that Brock Purdy have an injury-riddled season that really puts him out. Or if not, Brock Purdy is really going to show us where he left off of last year, man, and showing that he can be a top-tier quarterback the way Tom Brady kind of got himself out the mud from the bottom of the roster and everything, because nobody didn't really have Brock Purdy on their radar 2 years ago. It was all about Trey Lance. Is Trey Lance the guy? And then next thing you know, Brock Purdy came around and said, I'm taking this opportunity and run with it. And the 49ers, you can just tell that once the 49ers lost Brock Purdy last year, their only surviving chance was their defense. Now that you see that Brock Purdy is here and fully healthy, and all cylinders is clicking, they throwing up points. They're able to beat teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Dallas Cowboys, and blowout fashion, kind of. And even the Steelers still had a good defensive game, but the 49ers were still able to show them, like, we are the top tier team. So in my opinion, right now, it's just the 49ers, hands down, are the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they like I said, I think they have the best roster in the sport. I'm not quite sure where their weakness is. Not necessarily that Philly has this glaring weakness, although I would argue their pass defense, which wasn't exposed yesterday or the other day too much because their offensive line, the Rams' offensive line rather, really struggled in that game. That is something that San Francisco can potentially expose. So great points made by you, Devin. To Alfred, I think I kind of know where your answer is going to be, but I'll ask you anyway. Do you think the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC?
Second best in the NFC, and I'll point the reason for my reasoning to the numbers. You talk about the offense and the ability to score points. 49ers hands down. There have been 3 times this year where the Philadelphia Eagles have scored 25 points or fewer out of 5 games, whereas opposed to the 49ers, their lowest point total in a win was 30 points. So already the 49ers have shown that they can score more points. They've consistently put 30 points or more on the board every single time. The second being, I believe that on offense, you have more dynamic weapons on offense in San Francisco than you do Philadelphia. Philadelphia does not have a running back that can match Christian McCaffrey. If you were to say that, I would laugh at you. Also, when you look at that receiving core, you have Ayuk, you have Samuel, and then of course you have George Kittle, and Dallas Goedert is a veteran, but he's nowhere near George Kittle. Then you want to compare defenses, like I said in the last segment. You've got Greenlaw, Warner, and Bosa that will all hit you hard. And then even the special teams game, I got to give the Duke on special teams also to the 49ers. So I got to go, and I also got to agree with Devin. The Eagles, their offense, Jalen Hurts, they win because they manage games. They if you look at time of possession, They like to have these long drives that burn time off the clock. The 49ers, they try to score as quickly as possible. So, I'm going the 49ers. I believe the 49ers are the more talented team.
You make fair points, and you notice, yes, you brought up the long drive of Philadelphia, and San Francisco kind of like to score in bunches. Yeah, I remember that game Sunday night against Dallas. It felt like they were taking some big chunk plays, big shots down the field to kind of get that 7-0 lead, and then kind of ride their defense around, ride the momentum that they created when the field position battle, and that's what they did all night long. That's what they've done all season long through the first 5 games. So great points made by you, Alfred. I'll finish with you, Eric. Your thoughts again? Doing a segment on a team that you hate as a Giants fan. I share your sentiment as a Steelers fan. I do not like the Philadelphia Eagles with any fiber of my being, or really any Philly sports for that matter. But do you think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC through the first 5 games of the year?
Absolutely not. They're good. I mean, they're a great team, but I think when you just look at the 49ers, this might be over-exaggerating a little bit, but that Sunday night game, they looked like the perfect football team. Just the amount of physicality they had, the play calling, Purdy dishing it out there, making every single right read. I don't know. I don't really see a hole in the 49ers team right now. I think injuries would be the thing that's going to stop them the most. But I even have faith in Sam Darnold in the backup spot. I think that he is a lot more serviceable for one game, not for a whole season as a starter. But I think if he comes in relief for Purdy in a game where he got hurt, say in that same situation as last year, with the team, the guys around him, and the play calling that the 49ers have, I think even Sam Darnold could do decent in that offense. I think, honestly, most quarterbacks could. I wasn't really high on Purdy for a while just because of the fact that the Niners were so good. I almost felt like the Niners were just bringing Purdy up, but I don't know, I have to admit it now. I think Brock Purdy's joining that elite category, and I think he will be there very soon. And like you guys said, the Eagles, they've kind of just been managing games, sitting on the ball. They had close games against the Vikings. They had a close game against Washington, and they had one against New England as well. And none of those 3 teams are looking like they're top teams in the league by any means. So, yeah, I don't think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. I'm kind of just repeating what you guys said, but I promise I had that thought before this. I already have my future placed on the 49ers. So, yeah, give me San Fran all day over Philly. I'm excited for that game. I'm hoping that San Fran just wallops the Eagles because I know that the Giants won't.
Yeah, no, that's not in the. Listen, your Giants got smoked by San Francisco. My Steelers got smoked by San Francisco. Who knows? Devon's Ravens may get smoked by San Francisco, I think, on Christmas later this year. But the beauty of this is, ladies and gentlemen, is that the 49ers and Eagles will play in the city of brotherly love in Week 13, December 3rd. It's the big game on Fox, so we'll get to see them, duke it out. But something you all mentioned that I think is interesting, and obviously, knock on wood that this doesn't happen as far as the injuries are concerned. But if you look at the numbers, San Francisco's been one of the most injured teams in the last half decade, and a lot of that's been because of their style of play. It's very physical. It's very kind of hit you in the mouth. Philadelphia is to a certain degree as well, but for some odd reason, San Francisco seemed to deal with more injuries. Before we get to our scores through the first couple of rounds, let's look at some comments here. Let's see. Sincere Brown says the Eagles are a good all-around team, but they will only go as far as Jalen Hurts takes them. Well, if that's as far as last year, then that's within a couple of throws of winning the Super Bowl. So that's, they're in a good spot if that's the case. He also says maybe Eagles might go to the Super Bowl since WrestleMania is going to be there. Who knows? Maybe they'll get Jason Kelsey out there for all I know. Sincere says the Niners, the highest scoring team in the NFL. And Clint Alexander says, burn that Daniel Jones jersey, bro. He doesn't like it. Eric, your thoughts?
I'm loyal to a fault. What can I say? I'm gonna ride with my guys until they're traded or cut or they sign somewhere else.
Aren't we all loyal to the fault? That's kind of the curse and the blessing of being a fan. That's how it goes. I'll start with, so let's see. Devin went first. Great take by Devin. Again, I'm certainly with you. I'm with all of you for that matter. That the Niners are better than the Eagles today. That's not even a shot at Philly. I think just like San Francisco's on a different level. But a great take by you, Devin, talking about how it's, again, like I sort of just mentioned a second ago, like it probably take injuries, which again, knock on wood, doesn't happen, but it'd probably take that in order to stop the 49ers in their tracks. Because man, man, they are on an absolute roll right now. To Alfred Parser Jr., again, great take yourself as well, man. Bring out the stats, bring out the numbers with the high scoring offense and the great defense as well. And Philadelphia kind of playing a more ugly style football, which look, hey, I can't hate it. It's got them just as far as it's gotten San Francisco. Both teams are 5-0, but it's a good take, great take by you, Eric. The only reason I gave you a good take is because you're out here mentioning like Sam Darnold. Like, well, what's Sam Darnold do? I mean, listen, I like Sam. I really liked him coming out of that 2018 draft. But listen, this is about Brock Purdy. It's about Sturdy Purdy, baby. This is about the Niners. You out here bringing out backup quarterbacks. I don't hear anybody bringing up Marcus Mariota in Philadelphia. That was listen. I like unique takes. I like outside the box takes. That was outside of the sphere or whatever. That was a weird one, Eric. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you.
I mean, maybe if the Niners had a solid backup quarterback last year, they would have been in the Super Bowl instead of Philly. That was a back and forth game up until that injury happened. I mean, say they had Gardner Minshew out there, instead of Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson and Josh Johnson got hurt. So, yeah, it was just a terrible turn of events for San Francisco in that game. No question about it. Who knows? Maybe they'd have won the NFC Championship game.